Good evening, everyone out there watching. Just got back from the range tonight, and I decided to do a quick video. I hope it's going to be quick before I started cleaning up my guns, to kind of compare and show some experimenting that I've been doing with the various XDS aftermarket magazine extension pieces that are on the market, or ones that I can find anyway. So what I got here, so actually what I pulled out is I have the two, I guess they call it these are the two factory XDS extensions. Everyone who has an XDS, or for anyone who's curious about the XDS, these are from the factory by Springfield. There's a 9-round one, which is the max extension, then there's a mid extension of 8 rounds, and then these are all aftermarket extensions on the factory flat-plated 7-round magazines that come with the XDS. So, past few months, I was, I was kind of wondering if there was any aftermarket support to kind of get a smaller profile XDS magazine with 7 rounds. Kind of like I did a bunch of videos around the mag gut system for some of my other pistols, and I was kind of curious if there was anything similar to that for my beloved XDS. And yeah, there's some other options. And to be honest with you, there's some pretty major drawbacks to a couple of them. But here's what I found. First and foremost is the Pearce extension. It's just a finger, just a pinky extension. No extra capacity, but it basically, anytime you see these magazines, you get a little bit of a better grip on your gun. That it fully extends the magazine out so you can fully grip the gun with your pinky for better comfort. You don't get any other rounds, but you get kind of the best of two worlds, where you get a more comfortable grip on the pistol, and you still maintain a great deal of concealability, because what's typically poking up, and in my case where I'm carrying appendix, what's poking up the most above the belt line is the back piece, right? So this is kind of flat against the top of my belt. This is kind of poking up on the top of my shirt, and really there is very little drawback to concealing this over the flat base approach, right? And as well, it's just a simple polymer piece, and it is very inexpensive. You can see here, if the thing would want to focus, it's just my iPhone, it doesn't want to focus well, but here's the my old flat plate. Paid $9 for it at a local gun shop, and it's good to go. With this function, everything works fine. The only downside is I'm still stuck with the standard 7-round capacity. So the next two options I found, these two here, these are two other options that are on the market. They do give you 8 rounds, and if you compare it to the mid extension, which gives you 8 rounds, it does appear to give you kind of hold over some of the concealability of your base 7-rounder with the Pearce grip, with just a little bit of extra base to the actual magazine itself, and you do get your extra round. This one here, this is it's an aluminum extension. I know there's other companies that make similar for other pistols, but this is the only one that I can find for the XDS. It is something from Galloway Precision, called their +1 pinky extension. Honestly, it's pretty high quality. I think it's a very high quality option. It's very comfortable. It looks kind of neat in the gun itself. Let's see. As you can see here, it looks pretty sweet. It's really comfortable. And it looks pretty good. I'm sure with the aluminum, it's very durable as well. It's going to last for a while, but it has the same problem that we have with the second option, right? So and before I forget, Galloway Precision, they're on their website. You can search Google for it. I'll have a link for it. They sell this for $20 plus shipping. It seems to be pretty well worth it, as far as getting what you pay for. Let me talk about the next. The next option was is from a company called Optimus Defense. It kind of fits with the look and feel of the other XD options. You know, as for instance, if you compare it with the 9 round, very similar, only it's very low profile. This here, you know, this is a polymer piece. It's probably not as durable as the Pinky, but it is a much smaller profile on the gun itself compared to the aluminum. You know, like I said, you know, it feels really good. I did find there is another YouTube video, which I will link to, that reviewed this. And, you know, they were kind of gushing about it. You know, yeah, it feels good, you know, but really, you know, so does the Pearce grip, you know, that feels great too. So anyway, and this one for Optimus Defense, I'll link to the website. This is $25 plus shipping. This is a little pricier for what you get. Optimus Defense seemed to be a kind of a smaller shop, but it is a neat little option, I guess. And then here for size comparison, this is the 8-rounder and this is the 9-rounder. So yeah, so that's kind of an overview of what the extensions actually are. Do they allow you to add the extra round? Yes. You get 8 rounds in the magazine with these two options. You know, has no problem with 8 plus 1. However, in my experience, and I've even tried this extension on this magazine with this spring, is these do not hold the slide back at all. Which, you know, considering I know people carry the first version of the LCP that doesn't hold back the slide, but for some people like me, that is a major detraction from having these extensions. Yeah, you get an extra round, you know, for 20 bucks or whatever, but, you know, it affects the functionality of the pistol. You know, you can see empty magazine in the gun is empty. Seriously, right? Doesn't hold it back. Sometimes if I pull it really hard, I get it to lock back. But if you look at the, you know, the slide stop here, it is not even fully pushed up, right? So what's the issue? It's pretty obvious what the issue is that, you know, these standard length springs in the 7-rounder, you know, they're just not strong enough to, you know, you can feel it kind of caught that time, but it's barely catching the slide, you know. But these stock springs are not strong enough to push up on the lever to stop the slide, you know. See, you know, it works sometimes. You know, like I said, I tried all these out at the range tonight, and, you know, it's barely catching. But when I tried this in live fire, you know, I fired 3 different types of ammunition through this. You know, I used and I have an empty box here, Federal HST, which is my carry ammo. Didn't hold the slide back. I have some reloads that I brought with me, which is a very stout load. Didn't hold the slide back at all. You know, and I tried it multiple times. I must have shot about I shot about 150 rounds for this tonight, and I kept trying. I would put 2 rounds in the magazine, you know, 2 rounds in all of these. You know, I had all these magazines. I actually had 6 there tonight. You know, I have another 9-rounder as well. I had all these mags out. I would put 2 in each one. I'd try them all. You know, hold back the slide, hold back the slide, hold back the slide, hold back the slide. These 2 don't, right? Big issue in my opinion. You know, it doesn't work for me, right? So right now, you know, I'm going to a training class in a week or so, 2-day training class that I'm going to be using. This is my primary pistol. These extensions are coming off, and I'm going back to the base plate for that class. Well, yeah, I'm probably I'll lie there. I'm going to take 1 off and go run 1, because, and honestly, when you're training with live fire, it helps when you're simulating some training and having some malfunctions happen. So I'll probably keep 1 on as kind of the you know, get a chance to practice a little bit when I'm going through the drills. But yeah, it's, like I said, it's a big downside, right? You know, like I said, these are pretty pricey for what they are. You know, $20 for this guy and shipping, you know, $25 for this guy and shipping. You know, I paid about, as I flip it on the floor, I paid, you know, over 30 bucks for this to get it in my possession. You know, I am pretty sure you can find these for less than $30 or about $30. you know, and if you wanted to get this package with 8 rounds, you know, and you didn't want this extended bulk, right? What can you do? Right? You can just do that. You know, you're going to have a magazine that's going to function fine. It's, you know, basically the same size now. And, you know, I know it's probably not as comfortable as this would be, because you got a little bit of notch down here. Maybe some people like that. You know, you'll have a little bit of a edge in here that might be driving into the palm of your hand, so it's not comfortable. But if you're doing this for a carry purpose and concealability, this is a much better, much more reliable option than this, in my opinion. Like I said, I don't know what your options are for your magazines, but the reason I have 6 of them on the table here is I went to the local gun shop and I got a 7-rounder, and I got one of my 9-rounders for like $15 each, because they were selling magazines used, which is one thing I love about that shop, when you can actually find them. But you know, still, it's, you know, no brainer. You know, if that's your thing, that this is a better option than this and this, you know, hands down, right? You know, and so what, you know, I put money out for this, you know, kind of with an eye towards making this video, kind of eye towards playing around with it. But, you know, ideally I wanted to carry this. I thought this would be a great option because it's a little bit bigger than this, has a nice little profile and everything. But, you know, it's not holding the, you know, when I was practicing the action, you know, it wasn't holding the slide back. Of course, it'll hold it back now, but not reliably, you know, it'll, you know, you actuate it 3 or 4 times and then it finally catches, but it's barely catching. You know, you pull it back hard, it'll catch, but, you know, you can see there's a lot of space there. It's kind of not good, right? So what is the ultimate fix for this, right? The fix for this is, you know, plus 10% springs, you know, or even getting a spring from this magazine and cutting it down. Haven't had a whole luck with that. You know, I haven't found anything on the market, because the downside with, you know, these Springfields, and especially the XDS, it seems, is this does not have the same sort of aftermarket support as like a Glock. Yeah, it has more aftermarket support than, say, you know, Bursas and maybe the Taurus and some other things, but it doesn't have the aftermarket support that a Glock does. So yeah, that's it. You know, so here's the size comparison. You know, if you wanted to see what this looks like, if you want to be a little silly like me and spend your money on it, you know, they're fun for the range. But at this point, unless I can find, you know, some plus 10 springs, maybe it's just out of stock everywhere right now. You know, I'm not going to carry it. You know, it's at range status right now, range toy status for these 2 magazines. And, you know, and really when you're talking about, you know, especially in the Optimus Defense example, you know, $25 for the extension plus shipping, then probably who knows how much more for another spring to put in the magazine so that'll be function completely reliable. You know, you'd easily be able to buy one of these. So yeah, that's it, guys, for this video. I did make some other mods to this video here, so I'm going to talk about that, but I'm going to separate it out so I don't ramble too long. I know I've already gone longer than I thought I would to talking about these, just the magazines itself, but so it goes. I ramble. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I'm kind of surprised some of my videos are getting so many views. Happy, very happy about it. Glad I got a handful of subscribers. Thanks to everyone for watching. You know, comment on the videos. Like, you know, even if you hate it, you know, kind of sucks for me, but if you want to downvote it. I'm a big boy. So thanks for watching, and see ya.